Welcome back to another episode of the Wheels and Whiskey podcast. Today is a long one.
Very long, like super long. Lots of girth.
Longer than we thought.
We love long enough.
What were we out? An hour 30, I think?
Yeah. That's
Good
pretty
fucking
That's
Lord.
pretty long.
All right, so about an hour and a half.
Inch and 30.
episode. Yeah. 1.3 inches.
Yeah, 1.3 inches.
First half hour was actually whiskey, though. So we got that new bottle of Old Forester 1924. It's a 10-year. We kind of do a little backlog of the stuff we have acquired since the last actual whiskey episode that we've had. So that was a half hour, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then the last hour is, obviously you've seen the title. What's coming with Autumn of Artistry? We don't talk about it until the last 5 minutes, but
So strap in or scroll forward.
we basically go through the whole history of kind of where we started, why we started filming, the struggles that we've had as we've kind of been filming more, and then ultimately where we're going to go with starting this year. So sit back. What did I say last time? I said sit back and enjoy. I don't know.
Sit back, relax, and blow her back out.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Damn.
Hope you guys enjoy this one.
See ya.
God Christ. So since the last episode, not including Easton. So before Easton would have been Brandon, and we did not buy a bottle for him, right?
No, we didn't.
So since that episode before Brandon, then that's the last one we bought a bottle of. That would have been Russell's 10?
Yep.
Question mark?
I don't think we tried that on a podcast.
Because we were in the middle of a rare breed, of a wild turkey run. So we started with 101, and then we got both rare breeds, Russell's 10. So we're gonna put a pause on that for today's episode.
Yeah.
So then we've got
a ton.
Yeah, just
Holy
start
crap.
naming
I just
them off
like
what
I
we've
keep
gotten. Yeah.
seeing them, and I'm like, I literally just went from shelf to shelf as you were speaking. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
wait, we got that one too. So I mean, oh god,
Yeah. So Weller,
Weller's
picked that up.
Weller's our first one. So
Angels Envy Triple Oak, that one's new. On the Easton podcast that will be released when this is released, we got the new what is that? Chattanooga,
bottled and bond. Yes,
and then Old Forester Single Barrel,
single barrel, and then
Grainworks picks.
the gift from your brother.
Yeah,
that was a good one,
dude. Kentucky Owl is.
I haven't
so
drank
good.
a lot of that, but it was phenomenal.
It is very, very good. Yeah, that's it, right?
That is, yeah.
I mean, that's a decent amount. It's quite a bit.
And then
Quite a
obviously
today's. So
today's, which is a huge one.
yeah,
I
we
hear
won't say anything about those other ones because I think we're gonna go on. At the next episodes, we'll backlog and drink the shit we already have.
Yeah, we got plenty of bourbon to go. We don't need to buy another one.
You got to talk about. Well, here. So for those of you that listen to us, we love the Old Forester Whiskey Row collection.
Absolutely love
Like insanely good, really good value for the money. We did a whole combined episode actually with all four of them.
Yep.
So Whiskey Row prior to last year had 4 bottles, which is 1920, 1910, 1897, and 1870, and all were phenomenal. We actually just had some more a couple of weekends ago of the older ones that we haven't tried. So,
Yeah, we brought them back out.
yeah.
Drank a little bit.
Now last year, we're not sure the date yet, but sometime last year they added a bottle to the collection of the Whiskey Row series,
Yep.
and that is Old Forester 1924.
It's beautiful.
It's a 10-year-old. So this is the oldest of all 4. 100 proof, which matches the Bottled and Bond, which is the other 100 proof. It's gorgeous.
I'll be honest,
show this thing off.
I really never thought that we'd get our hands on this. Like when I saw it online, I'm like, okay, well, we know how long it's been the 4 bottles for Whiskey Row.
Yeah.
Like it's been a while. I think the last one, what year did that come out? I think 2018.
I thought it was 18. Yeah, something like that.
But I remember seeing this online, and we talked about this like months ago. Like that,
Yeah.
there's a purple one, and it's 1924, and they added it to the. It says it on the back, Whiskey Row Series, 1924.
Oh, wait, so it says it on there?
yeah, right here, it's part of the. It is part of the Whiskey.
I don't
Row
think
series.
those say that on the back.
So do they really not?
No, I don't think
Because
they
when
do.
I saw that, I was like, really curious.
You reach down.
Whiskey Row.
Oh,
Series.
it does. Okay.
That's awesome.
Just to show how much I'm not paying attention to them, I guess, the actual bottles.
Yeah, Old Forester's been our thing. We bought Old Forester Single Barrel. God, I don't even know how long. And that's
That was 2 weekends ago.
barrel strength. And that phenomenal.
Yeah, we'll do that one. That one is
so good.
Holy
so
fuck,
good.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, we are becoming Old Forester connoisseurs.
Yeah, which is funny because when you tell people it's like saying you like wild turkey, they think like just bullshit. It's like the Old Forester we have down there on the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Just the cheap $20 bottle, but no, this stuff is phenomenal. So
and that's 100 proof. I'd be actually curious to try that again because the last time
it wasn't bad.
I
don't think it was bad.
Yeah, and that was basement times.
Yeah,
that was back in the basement.
Yeah, I think that one had a mustiness to it, so that would have been good with cigar.
Yeah,
but that was prior to us even knowing that. So yeah, so this new bottle, we know nothing about it.
We know absolutely nothing about it. I spent an entire day. Literally going from every festival of foods in the county, from the Valley to Green Bay, every festival of foods that I could. I went to, I think, 5 different liquor stores, and then it occurred to me that I could just call and ask instead of just showing up and being disappointed.
That's on my nose.
So I sat in the parking lot of the final one, and I called 20 different liquor stores in Green Bay. And all of them literally told me the exact same thing. Oh, we got a couple in last week, but they sold out. Yeah. I'm like, oh, dude, this is not good. So I actually posted in Wisco Bourbon Club's Facebook page, really just asking if anybody had any insight as to where I could find this bottle because I want it so bad. And a lot of people were just saying, I don't want to be a dick, but a lot of people, I picked one up in Green Bay last week. Like, okay, that doesn't help. Like, you could have just talked to yourself about that. Don't need to tell me that.
Good for you.
Yeah, great, awesome. Didn't help. But then this guy, I'm gonna blank. I think his name was Ryan. Ryan. I'm not gonna say his last name, but Ryan, who works at D2 in Green Bay, had texted me and he's just like, "Hey, are you still looking for a 1924?" I'm like, yes. Do you have one? And he told me he had an extra and that he'd be willing to meet and sell it to me. So long story short, I bought it off of him and it has been sitting in my house now all week. And I've just been staring at it because I didn't want to crack it until this podcast.
Oh man.
It still has the plastic on the stem.
Yeah, it does.
And I don't know.
So we don't know the smell, nothing.
We know nothing about this.
Yeah, I don't even know. We haven't even looked into the flavor profiles, nothing. Yeah.
I paid $120.
I was going to say, so this is the big thing with this.
Very big.
Is as everybody, oh my God, I can't talk today. As everybody knows, the original 4 Whiskey Row are all sub $60. They're in that 45 to like 58, I think was the most.
Yeah.
Dollar range. So that's why we recommended them. They're phenomenal value for money.
Yeah.
This ain't even close to those.
No.
So.
And it's probably because it's an allocation, very limited release yet. That's probably why it's super expensive. And they're obviously adding to the Whiskey Row, which is, not something that happens every single year.
Right.
And I believe, I'll just read the bottle. And that's probably why this is hard to get. But in 1924, Owsley Brown, I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Took barrels of whiskey with different mash bills to a warehouse on Howard Street in Louisville, Kentucky, and bottled them as Old Forester. This 10-year-old expression honors the 100th anniversary of this occasion. So 100th anniversary, 100 proof.
So this might, because I think last weekend when we were talking about, or whatever that was, when we were trying the single barrel, you were saying you thought this was a limited release.
Yes.
Okay, so that might actually be a limited release.
I think so, yeah.
Because it was 2024. It's a 100-year anniversary, right?
Yeah.
So that might be just to last year, which may explain the price. We weren't into whiskey when the original Whiskey Row came out. So they could have started high and came down. Yeah. I highly doubt that's a 50% markdown. I don't think they were that high.
Yeah.
I think this is high because, one, it's 10-year age stated, which we know at this point it carries a lot, even though it doesn't necessarily mean a lot.
Right.
And I think it probably, we'll look into, after we try this, we'll look into it. It's probably a limited release, if I had to guess.
Probably.
I don't see, I don't know, double the cost just because it's an allocated bottle doesn't seem right to me.
No, not
at
all.
You think about Buffalo Trace, right? Like, especially up in Wisconsin, they're not selling those for $120.
Some places are selling them for like $90.
Right.
I've seen.
But that's still not double.
Right. And that's entirely up to whoever's selling at that point,
right.
you know, if they want to make a shit ton off of it.
So you said you think MSRP is 100.
MSRP is 115.
Okay.
Or 118 is what the guy said.
Okay.
That he bought it for. That was his MSRP. But upon further research, I've seen that people were also saying that it's 115. Some people were saying it's 116. So I don't know. The guy that I bought it from said that MSRP is 118.
Okay, so somewhere in that range.
So Yeah, somewhere in there. You know, some people can finagle the price, I guess. I don't know.
Well, like the other ones, like Kentucky Owl that we actually did end up loving, thank God.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And Blue Run, those are our two. Actually, no, and Peerless. It's hard because you become biased by the price slightly.
Yeah,
Peerless is phenomenal. We both were kind of on the fence with Blue Run, and Kentucky Owl is super good. So I hope this. I have faith. Old Forester so far, their track record is 100%.
Oh, 100%. Every single bottle of Old Forester that we've had so far has been phenomenal. So, I'm not going to be shocked if this is really good. I'll actually be surprised if it's bad, more than anything. But
go ahead and open it.
I don't know. It sounds to me, a lot of people have been saying that this is great. You know, a lot of people were saying they've been buying 2s if they can, just to have an extra for when they run out because it's so hard to get. At least here it's hard to get. Dude, wow. I love the colors. I love Old Forester's simplistic label.
And they all match.
And they all match.
It's so nice when they're on the shelf next to each other. I love it.
You're better at this than I am.
You want me to do the cork?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna fuck that purple thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut this actually.
Yeah,
pretty clean.
Oh wow. Yeah, Old Forester just has the best shelf appeal, in my opinion. I don't think there's a bottle that looks better than it.
Angel's Envy is
beautiful. Yeah. So I shouldn't say there isn't one better than it. It looks really good.
Okay. Nice clean cut there.
Beauty.
Are we all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is what we're gonna do. We can't risk this one not working. Okay. Yeah. Ready?
Oh, dude.
Holy shit.
That had some pressure in there.
Yeah, look at that cork on there. Again, wood topper, real cork.
Real cork.
All right.
Oh, shoot. Couple of Glencairn glasses here.
Give this fucker a sniff, dude. This is what Old Forester is known for. These smells, dude. Oh my God. Dude. It's just so rich. There's so much going on there.
We're going to have to do a blind taste test because that was also the last time we did a blind taste test on Old Forester. That was one of the best parts about it that we loved about this Whiskey Row is how they all had something different to them. There was that, God, you said it really good last time. They just all were different in their own ways.
They're unique.
Very unique, but then it had that
complexity.
Complexity. There it is. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, each that's pretty good, right?
Oh yeah. Wow, that's a lot.
Okay. So
hey, it's okay. It's gonna be good. I can't wait.
Beauty. Oh, really now you got dripping.
It's okay. Oh. You can dump the bottle over.
Here, you want to give me another Glencairn? Lauren wants some. We broke a Glencairn glass, or we didn't. Quinn did.
Yeah.
Quinn broke it. So now we need to get more before we do another blind.
Yeah. We're down one.
Let me. We're gonna call them real quick so they can come up and grab this because they want to get that out of the way.
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
So beyond excited for this. Also, the fact I can't get another bottle of this. I don't know if I could. It's gonna be hard.
Yes, it's whiskey time. You want to come up and grab some? Oh my gosh.
Dude, they're children.
Oh man. Yeah, this will be interesting.
Here they come.
Watch, the cameras are going to be fucking.
Yeah, watch out.
Oh, hey buddy. It is hot in here, isn't it? We haven't tried it yet, so. All right. You
want to take
the baby? All right. Yeah. I'm excited for this.
Dude, holy crap.
Right off the bat, very little alcohol smell.
Seriously. Oh, dude, it's rich.
So this is something, so Wild Turkey products, they all have a Wild Turkey taste. Old Forester products taste different, but they all have an Old Forester smell. I'm getting a lot of the 1910 vanilla.
Tons, yeah.
Strong sense of vanilla.
Those baking notes, right?
Yep, and I think a lot of the 1870, the baking spices is what they called that. Yeah, this would be interesting is if we can taste all four of the original in this. Dude, that would be insane.
That would be. Wow.
I know this is weird. I get a little beef jerky, like the seasoned meat kind.
I almost feel like once we're done with this, we should pour a little bit of the 20.
We should, yeah,
and Because this was our favorite from the
1920 was our favorite. Yeah.
1920. And obviously, you can tell we've drank a lot of that sucker.
Yeah, wow. last time we you were over and we drank, we were curious how much one single goes down when you pour a single, and it's like half a centimeter. Yeah. And we were looking at the bottles and we looked at what we drank. We're like, holy fuck, dude, that's a lot of alcohol.
We got a lot.
Yeah,
and it's just us. Nobody's really helping.
No, I mean the only other guests that we've had that have drank our stuff is we've had 3 guests, and the only one that really drank a whole lot, I guess, to Dustin and
Easton.
Easton, yeah. Brandon doesn't really. I don't think he's kind of like Austin. He's not really into.
He's a homebody.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, definitely a good thing.
I don't want to. Oh my gosh, keep going back to it. It changes. There's something else there. It's like a beef jerky, like a warm.
Man. Wow.
Man. I don't want to drink it too early.
Wow, it's just got such a great smell to it right away. Like, holy crap! The audience is probably just like, drink it. What are you doing? No, you gotta let it breathe.
Yeah.
You gotta let it breathe. Can't ruin it.
I think it is hard to beat 1920.
It's going to be very
the
hard.
all around. The other crazy thing is 1920 is 115 proof, which is the highest of all 5 now Whiskey Row bottles.
Yeah.
And that doesn't drink like a 115 proof whiskey.
No, not at all.
What was it? Kentucky Owl is up there, isn't it? Wasn't that like 115, 130, something like that? Or was it not?
The barrel strength.
Oh,
Old Forester is the
128.
Yeah. I don't remember what. I think that's a 90 proof.
Is it 90?
96.4.
96. Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, but even that other Old Forester, that one, what is it? Barrel proof?
Yeah. It's a single barrel proof.
Yeah. That's that one wasn't really that bad.
And that's a Grainworks pick right there.
Yeah, it is.
I just wanted to boast about it. Actually, it's funny because I went to Woodman's that day when I was driving around to all the different stores. Woodman's was my last resort.
You went back. I was gonna say you went back to Woodman's.
Absolute last resort. And I asked the guy. I was like, "Look, man, I'm sure you've heard this question a million times in the last week, but do you have any Old Forester 1924?" And he just looks at me. He's like, "No, I got none." And part of me was like, "I think that this motherfucker has some in the back, right?" Because he kind of answered it weird. But then I was just like, "Well, are those all of your allocated in the back right there?" And he's just like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Can I come?" Kind of look back there, like, and they were. I could tell right away that there was a single barrel Angel's Envy just sitting back there, and I wanted to go walk back there and look at it. And he's like, "No, you can't come back here." I'm like, "Well, can you grab the bottle for me so I can look at it?" So he grabbed the bottle for me, and
the Angel's Envy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was just like the price sheets on the beam over there. So I go and look at the price sheet. He's selling it for like $150. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I was really considering it. I'm like, dude, I've been empty-handed. I've been looking for this 1924. Like, I want something that I feel like I can't get my hands on.
Yeah.
But the one thing that steered me away from buying that bottle was that it said Woodman's Pick on the front of it in huge bold letters.
Really?
I'm like, you know what? I'm sure this tastes really good, but it says Woodman's on it, and I don't want it.
And that gives me a bad memory.
Oh, dude, yeah. I just can't. I can't deal with Woodman's on my bottle. It's just gonna turn me off.
You want to give this bitch a try?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, don't drink the bubbler yet.
I'm reaching for the Actually, hold on.
Yeah.
I got bubbler too.
Wash everything out.
Oh, yeah. That's the stuff right there. All right. Oof. I'm excited to, if we go pick up cigars after this too, give that a whirl with a cigar.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go for it.
Here we go. We finally have it.
Lube shot. Right off the bat. I'm trying to understand what I just tasted.
Yeah, that is the most flavorful instant hit of any whiskey I've ever had.
Very.
There was no.
For
me, there wasn't any of the burn that you have to then like wait for it to evaporate. Yeah. This was flavor right away.
Wow.
Oh my God, it's so warm and rich.
What am I tasting?
I know, that's what I'm saying. There's so much.
What is the mash bill on this?
I have no idea.
I wonder if it
Don't
even
look
states.
because you're gonna see what it's supposed to taste like.
Yeah, you're right. Is this? No, this definitely isn't in our bourbon Bible. It just came out. Yeah. There's no fucking way it's in there. Oh man, dude, I don't know. I don't know what I'm tasting.
I literally don't either. Yet again, a very complex, unique bottle.
Mm-hmm.
This is unlike any of the other Old Forester whiskey roll line at all. And it's really, really good, but I don't know what it is.
I can't
even put, I'm not even getting caramel.
No. There's something right off the bat that I'm tasting that I can't put my tongue on.
I barely get an oakiness to this either.
Wow.
I mean, kind of in the trail off on the end, there's a little bit that stays in your mouth, like a little bit of wood.
Definitely in the end, yeah.
Yeah,
wow,
but
I just screamed into the mic.
This is like my 5th sip, and every single time it's instant flavor.
Yeah, but it's like different every time too. It's got like this weird.
I am really at a loss with this.
Me too. I almost feel like we should take a sip of the 1920. And that might help us a little bit here.
Yeah, grab it.
Something to compare it to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we know what 1920 tastes like.
Yeah, I can't put a single flavor on that at all.
Oh, me neither.
The only thing that comes to my head is like warmth. Not from the alcohol or not from like the heat, but it's like a warm flavor.
Dude, it is incredibly smooth.
Yeah. No, like really.
Like very smooth.
Like the mouthfeel in this is like thicker than kind of more.
Holy crap.
The other ones that we've tried.
Still just like a great, dude, that's exactly what we like drinking too. Son of a.
There's a little, you don't have to drink all that. It's just for sipping purposes.
And you're dripping all over the place.
I know. I'm not doing good today.
No, definitely not. All right, I got it.
So 1920 is a really good uniqueness, like a unique standoff from 1910. 1910 was extremely vanilla, like a lot of vanilla. 1920 has a little bit of vanilla, especially in the scent.
Yeah.
But the flavor was more of that caramel hazelnut with vanilla in it, which is something that we really like in all these other whiskeys that we've tried. But the added like vanilla flavor to it was what made this really, really good.
Wow, dude. Right off the bat, smell 1924 compared to 1920. There is a lot more there.
Yeah, in 1920,
like a ton more in the scent.
I hope that was 19. Yeah, it was 1920 is lighter flavoring, and it's actually lighter colored. It smells more like a summer, like something you drink in warmer weather. And 1924 is kind of something you drink in the cold weather. Like I said, it's kind of like it's warm.
Yeah,
it's got like a warm scent and a warm flavor to it. I don't know what it is. All right, I'm gonna go for the 1920.
Yeah, smell for sure. 1920 is lacking more.
Okay. Oof. That needs to breathe. Way too much.
Really?
Yeah, there's you gotta really, it's like drinking that Jack Daniel's stuff. You gotta
kind of let that shit.
Yeah, that needs to go. It is 115. That's 15 more. So what's that? 7% more alcohol per volume.
Yeah. Yes, it is 7.5. Wow. Right off the bat, the smell 1924 has much more of a rich scent to it. Like almost no alcohol.
I have no idea what this flavor is. It's so fucking good though.
We're gonna look like a bunch of noobs over here. These guys have no taste buds.
I mean, it's the first time we've done this
in like 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going for it on the 1920 here.
Okay.
Sweet. Very sweet, actually. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Very sweet. Is this... I'd be curious, for anybody that's like actually been doing this for a long time, is this the right way for us to be doing this?
No, probably not back to back. You're probably supposed to be a wine thing, so you gotta drink water in between. You gotta eat a cracker.
Yeah.
No, this...
I'm going to do 1920, and then I'm going to swig and do 24 again. Again, though, scent is lacking on the 1920. Sweet.
Yeah.
It's just got this sweetness to it.
It's a lot. It's sweet, vanilla, and baking. Like it's very good. It is good.
So good. This is my favorite.
But yeah, like that flavor left on your lips and your tongue afterwards, that is like a... Kind of like when you eat something that has sugar in it and it's just like lingers. Yeah. That's it's good.
Right on the tip of my tongue, actually, is like somebody's just putting sugar right on the tip of my tongue.
It's very akin to like sugar leaf wrapped cigars.
Yeah, literally. You get that extra sweetness right on the tip.
Okay, let's go back to 1924.
All right. Scent is amazing. Dude, hold on, wait a minute. It's like opening up a bag of brown sugar. No?
A little molasses in there. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a good
come
one
on,
right there. I think this is the first time we ever used that word.
That's
Molasses flavored. Yeah, brown sugar.
It's like a brick of sticky
literally,
brown sugar.
I get that. Yeah,
That's crazy.
molasses and sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, you're about to bake cookies with this right here.
Tastes kind of similar to that too.
Holy crap. Except I get more like citrusy in this.
More than that one?
Yeah, like
Really?
I get a little bit of like I don't want to be that guy, orange peel, right? But like that's what I'm tasting, you know?
They are both phenomenal, but 1924 has way more flavor to it.
Way more flavor.
Way more flavor, way more scent.
Way more. Yeah.
A lot. I
This
got
is
close
like
to the mic. That's my bad.
very dark and rich flavor in this
Yeah.
one. Very sweet and light.
Yeah.
Which is odd because it's 15 proof more. I almost feel like, but then again, this is a 10-year. So proof lower, but taste.
And if you're going to think about this logically, and this may not be true, but if it's just sitting in barrels for 10 years, you're going to get more of the actual flavor, not necessarily the smokiness.
Right.
I think you can probably only get a certain level of smokiness based off how much it's charred, but
Yep.
that flavor, it's really warm. I just don't
So warm.
look it up. Let's look this up.
Should we look?
Go
all
to
right.
what
Breaking
was it?
Bourbon?
Yeah, Breaking Bourbon reviews, because they've been the most consistent with us so far.
All right.
I'm really interested because I can't really dig anything specific out. That molasses the brown sugar, that's spot on.
That's spot on for scent. What am I doing? Yeah, right here. Somebody's selling it for Wooden Cork is selling it for $270. Whoa.
That's insane.
What are you smoking?
I'll look up if this is limited.
Bourbon Guy. Okay, Breaking Bourbon has been pretty good. All right, so Old Forester 1924, and it looks like 2024 was the release date. So.
All right, real quick before you carry on. Yes, Old Forester 1924 is a limited annual release, part of the Whiskey Row series. So it is only, I'm assuming, just last year. So that would be, yep. Let's see.
That's so interesting.
It's just celebrating a milestone. So, yeah. So that's why probably I would guess the price is where it's at.
I guess my question with this then, right, is will they ever drop it again? Will it ever come out ever again? And then if so, is it going to become more available,
Right.
like the rest?
Right.
But then my next question is, and this is just a theory, right? If they're jumping up to a 10-year-old with this one, are we going to see something kind of like the Russell's family?
Yeah.
Where they went from a 10 to a 5 or 10 to a 13 to a
But
14
then
to a 15.
you're jumping price fast.
Oh, right.
after
Well,
10,
I mean,
yeah.
look how much the Russell's 15 is going for. You know, I mean, some people can get it for 200, but here in Wisconsin, the one that I've seen actually available to buy was $600.
Yeah.
Actually, $699.
Yeah.
So, I'd be curious to know if Old Forester's going down that path of, okay, we're going to come out with a 13-year next, and then we're going to jump into a 15-year. Because I don't think Old Forester has anything like that right now. This might be their oldest aged.
I think we'd have to look. They have some specific ones. Like there's the birthday one.
Right.
There's
Which we got to find.
I
one
know
of
there's
them.
specific picks like that one right there. Because that one's 4 year, something like that.
Single barrel?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
something like that. So they have some other ones, but we haven't really looked into those.
Oh, that stuff is so good. All right.
Yeah.
So
read this.
Old Forester 1924, straight bourbon, company Brown Forman, Brown Forman Distillery. It's 100 proof, 10 years aged. Mash bill is 79% corn, only 11% rye, and then 10% malted
So
barley.
this is definitely a higher corn, which is why there's none of that like rye,
Right.
like flavor, chemical kind of to it. Yeah.
So it's saying right here, MSRP is $115.
Okay.
So color caramel. I don't think I need to read all of the.
Yeah. Don't read any of that. Let's just hear what the
So
nose is.
nose. This is interesting. I'm seeing words that we didn't say. All right. So nose. The aroma opens with a delightful apple cider scent that features a slight poke of apple cider vinegar for contrast. It immediately transitions to rich, creamy butterscotch with a strong cranberry undertow.
Bro, smell this while you're talking.
No way.
That fucks your brain up. That's literally what I'm getting. Apple cider.
Holy shit.
Think about fall apple cider. And then think about butterscotch candy.
Wow.
That's spot on. That's crazy.
Holy crap.
But I wouldn't have thought of those anyways.
No,
Yeah.
no. I do think that the brown sugar was on par, maybe. I don't know. This alone makes a statement before the addition of black cherry and prune join in. Okay.
That might be kind of that warmth to it.
I don't know if I've ever smelt a prune, to be honest with you. I don't know. Is that weird at 24 years old that I've never smelled a prune before? Not my first instinct, because those make you shit. So, sorry. To cap it off, seasoned oak grounds. Hold on, I read that wrong. To cap it off, seasoned oak grounds the aroma with the help of hazelnut and tobacco. It's an opening that is extremely effective, well-balanced, and immediately gratifying. Okay, cool. Do you want me to jump right into palate?
Yeah, go right in the palate.
All right, so palate. The bourbon's creamy mouthfeel.
Hey, we did say that.
You were saying it was a little bit thicker. Pause. Okay, sorry. The bourbon's creamy mouthfeel is instantly noticeable as it delivers an enjoyable blend of red currant, cranberry, and plum. There's a layer of graham cracker and light maple woven throughout that adds fleeting but necessary moments of contrast. Leaning towards elegance over potency, the bourbon is more straightforward versus complex. Interesting, but works well nevertheless. It's an easy sipper, first and foremost, wearing its heart on its sleeve.
I would say in the technical term of complex, as far as whiskeys go, which means it's going to change as you drink it. That is accurate. This doesn't really have like a swap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I say complex in this case, there's a lot going on when you drink it.
There is. There's definitely a lot going on in that aspect, and that's what I love the most about Old Forester. Is it isn't just like a oak or caramel.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's everything going on there. Finish. Let's go through this really quick. The bourbon's red fruits shift to raspberry, and the sip turns mildly dry. Okay, I definitely just got a little bit of a mild dryness to it on that last sip. Got it. Getting better by the minute. Oak becomes the dominating flavor trait with fleeting hints of graham cracker, barrel char, and allspice. It finishes a bit hot, given its proof, which further enhances its dry and oaky traits. There's just enough to keep the finish interesting, though, like the palate, it's largely a straight shooter. So, largely a straight shooter. I mean, it all checks out.
Yeah.
All checks out.
I wouldn't have ever thought about the apple cider, but that is pretty accurate on that nose.
Yeah.
I still get a lot of molasses and brown sugar to it, but
dude, great sipper all around.
Yeah.
So it looks like Eric, let's go through. Actually, I kind of want to go through this other guy's review of it. So written by Eric Hassman, and this is his barrel starring, 5-star kind of review thing. So nose, he rates it a 4 barrel out of 5. Palate 3.5 out of 5. Finish a 3 out of 5, and uniqueness 3.5 out of 5, and then value 2 out of 5. So sounds like the price is a bit high for most people's liking.
I disagree with that. As far as because we've now started jumping those expensive bottles. Peerless was 90. Blue Run was around 100. Kentucky Owl was like 115, 130, something like that.
Yeah.
Now that we're getting in that price range, I think what sets those apart is that very specific uniqueness, and that's what gives it. At least as far as I go, if I was going to spend that money, I'd want something that doesn't taste right. I wouldn't want to spend the $120 on this and have it taste exactly like 1920.
Yeah.
Same thing with Kentucky Owl. Like Kentucky Owl, Blue Run, and this taste different than anything else we've had, and to me, that is worth the extra price tag because now you have something that's different.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're backing it up.
It's hard. I'm sure a lot of those reviews are taking into account the other 4 bottles, and I don't. In this case, because the other 4 bottles aren't limited release, I don't think you can really do that.
Yeah. I definitely think because it's well, at least up here, it's harder to find. I think that this bottle is well justified at $115, 100 proof. The flavor, the smell, this is literally everything that I love.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that because it was so hard to find and everybody's been hyping this bottle up.
Yeah.
But like, this is genuinely really good shit.
No, it is very, very good.
Like, I actually think I like the 1924 more than the 1920.
Really?
I think if we were to put all 5 bottles in front of us right now and I had to grab one to drink for the night with a cigar.
What is crazy is, okay, if we put all 5 together, the 1924, 100%, you would be able to guess based off the nose alone.
Yeah, right away.
Which is crazy. Same thing with the 1910. Like I think we both got 1910.
Now, hold on. I don't know if we can say that right away.
We were accurate.
We're gonna have to clip this moment of you saying that.
Yeah.
Then in that when we do the blind taste testing, because I guarantee you we fuck it up somehow.
That's funny. That's funny.
Because we went into the last one. We were like, I'm gonna get all of them right. Like I was. Really
I got
confident.
3 out of 4 right though.
I think I got them all.
Or
right.
no, I got 2 right.
I don't think I got a single one.
I had the 1910 and the 1920 correctly guessed. The other 2, which were my least favorite at the time, I did get wrong. However, I will say this: we said this a couple weekends ago. We did take out 1897. Actually, we took out all 4.
Yeah, we did.
And we tried them all again just while we were smoking a cigar. The 1870, the red one, which was your favorite when we first went through, is actually really fucking good.
So good.
And I was not a fan of it right at the bat. So I think as we had time to kind of grow as like our taste buds, is like kind of we've really pinpointed what we like. I do like that. I will say though that the 1920 and the 1910 are pretty much my 2 favorite.
They're great.
This
They're
1924 is probably the most unique bottle I've ever had. However, when like as far as whiskey goes, I really like the flavor that the 1920 and the 1910 give you. That's like what I really like.
Definitely.
So I'm not saying this is bad in any way. This is 100% worth the money to me.
I'm glad it's different.
And it's exactly. It is super different.
100%.
It's really, really like rich. This is the most rich whiskey we've ever had. Yeah.
I'm stoked about this one. They did not miss one bit. And that was my one scare when I bought them. I'm like, fuck, dude.
They weren't gonna.
What if this is the one? Like, and Old Forester's been, and we've said it a million times on this podcast already, that Old Forester's been like our top 2 or our top whiskey in our collection. And I was afraid, like, is this going to be the one that fucking ruins it for us? Or God forbid the birthday one is the one that ruins it for us.
I know. That's a lot. And the bottle's so sick.
Oh, dude, people are paying hundreds for that.
I know.
Like,
that one's a lot.
I think MSRP for that is $300.
They get it in. Yeah, I think it's around that. They get it in quite often at Grainworks though.
Yeah, but they raffle that off.
I know.
So,
it is fair though.
it is. It's a fair way to do it. I have seen that the Wild Grape does not raffle. They sell it, but the problem for them is they're, I guess that's part of the race, right? Like, you know, they're not going to disappear as fast because they are kind of out in the middle of nowhere, you know, so you got to drive 30 minutes from here to get to Wild Grape. But and they had the Russell's 15 there for $6.99, which is an absurd price. I've seen people buy a Russell's 15 for like $300.
Well, when we first tried it and we were sitting out there and you looked it up, it was around that, wasn't it? 1,500.
Yeah.
What do we determine is our oldest bottles up there right now? It is the original Whiskey Row Old Forester, right? Like, because I'm thinking I don't want to drink more 1924 right now because I don't want to bring that down and it's going to spoil faster.
Yeah,
what should we drink while we're talking about our topic here? Blue Run?
I was going to say, I mean, we can go give Kentucky Owl
do whatever you want,
a shot. It's up to you. What are you thinking? Anything? There's a lot.
I know. I'm saying as far as stuff that is going to go bad soon.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? What needs to be drank? Because we're not really going to talk about it. You know what I mean? I think Blue Run and Old Forester are the oldest ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me that 1870. Yeah, we'll do that 1870. I was just talking high praises about it, so we'll back it up.
Yeah, we're talking Old Forester here anyways.
Yeah.
We might as well stick to it. We'll put the 1920 back up on the thing here.
All right, so
wow, you drank all of that.
Yep. I became a alcoholic now. No.
Holy shit.
All right, everybody. So this is where we're going to kind of change over. We're at 40 minutes on the clock, but I think for the first 5 minutes, we were just talking about random shit. So
yeah,
about 35 minutes in. Today is, I think, only the true, based off of the length of this episode, only the true listeners are going to be listening to, and this is really all, this is addressed to you. Nobody's asked, but I just say,
yeah, we're just putting this out
yeah,
there.
No one's been like, hey, where have you guys been for the past 6 months, right?
Yeah,
nobody cares. We're not big enough
appreciate
yet.
it,
Yeah,
you know.
But we are changing a lot, and neither of us want this to sound like an attention video.
No.
We threw the idea of making an actual video about it, and I think that'd be too much.
Yeah,
I think this is probably the best way because it's just laid back and we can talk about it. A lot of stuff is changing with the YouTube channel and the podcast, and that's not why we've had this break, but we kind of came to the realization over this time period of what we really want out of this. The best way that we should probably attack this is to go back from the very beginning before we started making videos.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important for people to understand what our goals and dreams were and what we wanted to do, and then what it's turned into, and then the quote industry, like the niche that we're in right now. And then, yeah. Do you agree with that?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to pour this real quick. But yeah, no, we are acknowledging that we've been gone from, honestly, everything. Instagram, YouTube, fucking podcasts, everything.
Yeah, a lot. But life has hit.
Yeah, life
pretty hard. Actually, this last month has been pretty wild.
Yeah, there's been a lot of there's been a lot of stuff personal wise that's changed. Going on. Okay, so let's go back. And we kind of talked about this in an early episode. We were like, "How did Automoversary start?" Even though we haven't made it yet. But
right.
Okay, so like when we were younger, we were driving motorcycles. The idea actually originally came from we really wanted to do like a motovlog type channel. And this was at the time period where Do It With Dan and all the other guys, Grommy Bear,
yeah, that's good stuff.
You know, they were really big. And I'm not saying they're not now, they are huge channels, but we don't ride motorcycles anymore. But that was like the in. I think that both of us and we both had GoPros, we had Cardos, and we were just like, we should really do this because we said some funny ass shit all the time. Right?
Oh, dude, all the time. Or at least we thought it was funny.
Yes, yeah.
Most people would have been like, oh.
It's important to note that I was really into photography at this time. And really only doing it, making money-wise for senior photos. Wasn't really shooting cars or bikes or anything yet. I started to a little bit, but not crazy. But I was really into photography, and I had never done video, okay?
Yeah.
So around this time is where the showcase that Fitment put on. If you guys remember that fucking thing.
Oh, that was
yeah.
I followed you around.
I know.
No camera.
I bought a gimbal. Actually, the RSC2 that's sitting right down there right now. From DJI. Bought a gimbal. Ran my little A6000. And we just went to this car show, and I had no idea what I was doing. I was basically going off of YouTube videos I'd seen. It's important to note that the previous idea of the motovlog we just talked about wasn't something we actually did. We never really made an attempt at it.
Yeah.
Like
I think I literally sold my bike when you. God, I don't even remember.
It was all really close together.
Well, because I sold my bike, but I was gonna buy
an
MT-09, and we were gonna build that up the same. God, even in the garage, building up your MT-09. I mean, I think I still have a video of us freaking out with that thing spitting flames the first time we put the Leo Vinci exhaust on there. Leo Vinci exhaust on there.
That's crazy.
That's kind of kind of like our upbringing into all of this, like being in the garage building. God, I mean, our thing was Miller Lights and Black and Milds. Like that was our shit. So
the inspiration as far as I went for this whole thing at the showcase was I had started watching a lot of creators that did automotive specific content. A lot of people that probably watch this know who North Borders is on YouTube. I was influenced from a lot of his stuff. So when I went to the showcase with you, I was like, well, let's fucking try it.
Yeah.
I've never done a quote cinematic before of anything. So, that video, I actually didn't make a video. I really tried to edit it, but that camera is, if you know what that is, really shitty for video. It just, the footage wasn't good.
Yeah.
There was a couple reels, I think, that I posted, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, some really old reels and some really good photos. Yeah. Really, really good photos.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Actually, a lot of those are used on the website still. So that happened. And then I think nothing really happened for quite a long time after that. We were doing photos and stuff, but like I think we took your car out, remember? To the top of the
GTI.
Yep.
Yeah.
Top of the parking ramp.
Yeah. I still have that picture.
Yeah.
Those pictures up on the top.
We didn't really do anything with video. We didn't have mics.
No.
We had that 1A6000, and then so Connor sold his bike. Fast forward a couple months, I think I sold my bike.
Yeah.
So when I sold my MT-09, I made a decision. So I got out of motorcycles because of just it didn't make sense for that risk to be in my life anymore.
Yeah. That was actually a huge point because I think just before I sold my bike, that was when I had that fucking gun incident. I had a gun pulled on me.
I had the gun incident the week after you had that.
Yeah. And that was like the huge deal breaker for me because I was like, man, I really love riding. And I still get that itch. Like, man, I see these guys riding bikes. I'm like, man, I just loved something about riding our bikes. It's just so much fun, dude.
It sucks. Quinn's brother just got into motorcycles.
Really?
It's like, he's got the new R7.
It's not the I'm an unsafe rider. It's not the I can't talk myself out of going 150 miles an hour because I totally can. It's not that I am an idiot on the bike. It's that I cannot trust everybody else driving around me. I can't, and I'm not gonna be paralyzed. And I know a guy who in my family who had a motorcycle incident a long time ago, and he's still fucked up from it.
Yeah.
And it's just like that was one of the things too that, man, I just can't.
Well, yeah, and that year actually. Is it Sharon? Remember
Sharon.
that? Yeah. So he was on an ATV. He hit a deer.
Oh yeah, that's
shattered his
right.
wrist.
Yeah.
The 2 or 3 weeks prior to that, one of my buddies from high school was at a 4-way stop on his motorcycle, and he went, and the 80-year-old elderly man at the other side of the intersection went and then drove him over and dragged him.
Dude, crazy.
Right? So
crazy.
like fucking giant lawsuit, got a shit ton of money out of it, and like 9 fucking massive surgeries later. Bro almost died. Okay?
Just terrible.
And then a couple months later, somebody that I graduated with, his younger brother, was driving home from school. He wasn't being safe, unfortunately, but he had his girlfriend on the back. They ran off the road, hit a tree. He died on impact. She was in a coma for like 4 weeks, and then she eventually died.
Yeah.
All of this stuff happened, and you were already out.
Yeah.
The only people I didn't ride with anybody. I occasionally rode with Briggs.
Yeah. And I was looking for a bike. I was at that time. I was looking to buy
Briggs
an
because Briggs bought your ZX 6R.
Yep.
So
and I was looking to clean trade. I wanted to pay for an MT-09 with as much money as I got for my ZX6R.
And the hardest part for both of us, and I remember we said this all the time, was that was like the hobby that we had. That was like the biggest part of our life.
Yeah.
We talked about it. That was all. We've even talked about this now. Like you said a couple weeks ago, you're like, Quinn never saw that part of our life.
No, she never did.
You know, and that was, I rode for 7, 8 years.
Yeah. Lauren got to ride on the back of my bike. And I made some stupid decisions with her even on the back of the bike a couple times. I'm like, fuck, man.
But no, I say that because that's kind of why we got out. So when I got out of it, when I finally made the decision to, and keep in mind, the MT-09 was my dream bike. We built that thing.
Yeah.
I made kind of a promise to myself, not financially intelligent, but I was like, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to reinvest it into my other hobby, which was photography.
Yeah.
So I bought the Sony A7 IV, which had just came out like a month prior. It was brand new when I got it. And got it fully kitted out with lenses, shit ton of SD cards, ended up getting mic for it. And not even a week later after I got everything, I remember I texted you and I was like, bro, there's a fucking race going on at Road America this weekend.
That's crazy.
Right? Do you want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. And I was on second shift.
Yeah.
And oh man.
Yeah, you're like, I mean, yeah, I can, but I won't have slept at all.
Which is crazy because that was when I started putting money into more money into the GTI. I was like, fuck this, I'm going straight to cars.
Yeah.
And then you were kind of on the same page there too. Like, let's just get in the cars. You know, we installed the coilovers of the GTI in the garage of the house. I mean, yeah, but I remember that I was on second shift and that was Saturday. Yeah. And I'd worked Friday night and I got home at like 1 o'clock in the morning, had to flip it around. I had to be by your house at
we left at like 4:35 in the morning.
It was early shit. I remember that. To this day, I remember sitting in my car and you bringing me a Monster. Yeah. A Monster Energy drink.
Yeah, first like actual scene of Connor in that episode.
On
was
YouTube,
yeah.
ever.
This is on YouTube. Yeah. The first video on YouTube.
First video on
I
YouTube
forgot. This is where I was
ever.
going with this.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. So this was the first video, but yeah, I walked out after like I say some retarded ass shit.
No, you had a really good intro. That was the first time when you posted that video and you did the intro, because you were making breakfast. You made a bagel.
Yeah.
You had the fridge opening up. The color wasn't great. It was a little bit dull.
It took us a long time to get color.
It was a little bit white and gray, right? Not a lot of colors in there, but you were making a bagel. It was really good, elegant music, starting it up with the intro. And I'm like, this is kind of something.
Yeah.
There's something happening here.
Yeah.
And I think we both have the same exact vision going on.
Yeah.
But then, you came out to the GTI and I was like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah.
This is
that was the first. We've never pointed a camera at.
Yeah.
You were the first person to get a camera pointed at them.
That was,
and you actually reacted really well in that video.
I thought it was a great. To this day, that is my favorite YouTube video because there's such genuine excitement at the racetrack, genuine conversation on the way to the racetrack. It was just, I don't know.
And then we get to the racetrack and we couldn't talk in front of a camera.
No, we were. we were.
That plays into what we'll get into in a little bit, but. No, we invested back into that hobby and we made that first video. And I think it's important to note that neither of us thought that, I remember the metrics. We had 40 subscribers in the first 2 days. And I remember just sitting down with you and you're like, do you know 40 people? And you're like, no. I'm like, I don't fucking even know 20. So we can't even split this down the middle.
Yeah.
So some of these people are random and they liked the video. And that video got like well past 100 views really quick.
Yeah,
and then I think it's sitting at like 4 now.
Yeah, plateaued at like 400.
We posted a shit ton after that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
No, like
that was when we knew.
Yeah.
When we were like, holy shit, I don't even know 10 people.
And it was the people at our work and our families.
Yes.
The feedback from that. They were like, oh.
This is really good.
Yeah.
Like it looks good.
And I will admit right now, I'm going to admit right now, if you watch that video and you do know who North Borders was, I was heavily influenced by that whole style.
It looks good.
I didn't know what to do, like none of us, we haven't done this and I didn't know how to edit it. I didn't know what to do at all. So that's what I ended up doing. Video was great.
Yeah.
And then from there, we just kind of shot off and we started doing stuff like the SD wheel walk around.
Which I don't think anybody can see that anymore.
No, I took that off.
That was an embarrassing one for us.
That's not why I took it off, but yeah. So there was the SD wheel walk around. There was, where did the order go of that? I think really fast. I gotta look this up. Really fast after that, we actually went to Gatlinburg for the first time.
Yeah. Well, that and then the throttle stop one. I actually think the throttle stop one was
that's right.
Third in.
Let me go down. All right. So day of the track is sitting at 454. Just to correct that right now.
Nice.
So we did day at the track, and then there was the inside the Fitment Industry Warehouse. We actually went down to Clean Culture, Milwaukee that year. And then we had Throttle Stop, $20 million car collection. And then that year we went to Slam Enough Gatlinburg. Okay, so those middle ones don't really matter, but Slam Enough Gatlinburg was a very last minute. I remember it was May, I think. Yeah. I'm sitting in class in college, and I just texted you and I'm like, yeah, we need to go. Yeah. So we got all that. We went to Slam Enough Gatlinburg. And when you watch that video, that was like peak enthusiast to us. You know what I mean?
Very.
That's all that was. And we were not there to make a video to do anything. No. We were just there. We were like, let's go to this and we're just gonna document it. Yeah. Okay. And that's extremely important because we weren't up to this point, all those videos, we were just making shit to make shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%.
Supercar sleepers after that. Again, we were making stuff to make stuff. We got back and we're like, we need content this winter, right? And then we made a video called Why You Should Photograph Cars. Mm-hmm. And this is important because that video, when you watch it, it's super cringe. We look like children, but like you can hear the excitement of us. This was our first year in this automotive space in general. Yeah. And then like filming everything and taking photos of everything.
It went very fast.
It was really fast.
And there was a lot that happened.
9 videos, right? Really quick.
Yeah.
And I'm super thankful for that whole year. That was a crazy year.
Oh, dude,
right after that, we started the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. And the podcast was intended to get us through winter time. Mm-hmm. And it did.
We talked about some weird shit.
Yeah, we did.
Some good
UFOs.
Shit. But we've kept the template almost 100% identical.
Yeah.
Like we really have not changed a whole lot.
No.
Other than how we speak about our topics, what we show on screen. Mm-hmm. We stopped doing a lot of showing videos on screen. We built a Porsche on one of them.
Yeah.
Porsche.
Oh yeah,
Any
that's
of
right.
those that might be mad about how I just said that. But we've for the most part kept the template the same. Drinking bourbon. How the hell did we get into bourbon?
We got into bourbon at and that's why it's so close. When we went down to
Gatlinburg the first time, because that's when we brought home the Tennessee Legend.
Yeah.
And then we realized, well, this is flavored whiskey. This isn't even real whiskey. This is just fake something that says Tennessee on it. So we automatically think it's Tennessee whiskey.
And you got
sorry.
Woodford.
That wasn't a shot at Legends
No.
Tennessee or whatever the fuck. I can't even think of the name now. I just said it 2 seconds
It was
ago.
just flavored whiskey.
It was just, it wasn't our style.
And then we got Woodford Double Oak, and our eyes were open.
Oh, yeah, open wide.
No, so that winter was just podcast stuff. And actually, we really enjoyed that. And looking back at the metrics from a podcast that nobody knew about, I mean, we were well over 50 views on YouTube from every episode.
That's
which,
awesome.
Again, I know this is 50, but I don't even know 20 people that would watch my shit.
No,
So
literally.
there are people here that we
Nobody.
don't even know. Really good feedback on all that. Then we went to my first WCEC season opener.
Yeah.
Video was phenomenal.
Yeah.
We had a great time. And I would say this is the time period where not only did our vision kind of start to butt heads, but this is where I feel like we got kind of lost
Definitely.
because this video made 579 views.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And prior to that, I mean, fuck. Now Slam of Gatlinburg 1 is at 11,000, but that besides the point. Actually, it probably was Slam of Gatlinburg.
But they were low.
Yeah.
They were.
What happened is the viewership started to go up.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
And so the viewership started to go up, and we fell into everyone knows the trap of now we're not making content for ourselves anymore.
Yep.
We're making content to make that number go up.
Yep, for
And it
other
was
people.
very subconscious, and we lied to ourselves a lot and said, this is not why we're making shit. We're not making stuff for other people. We're making it for ourselves.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case at all. At least for me. I took me a while to figure that out, but after that, we did the Logan. I know I'm just quickly going through this because this is all important, but the Civic Type R video.
I loved doing that, and I want to do more of those.
That was our first dedicated
100%. Aside from what we've talked about and the route that we want to move forward in, I still really, really want to do stuff like that. Even when the 944 build is done, there has to be a video that's just like that. Gosh, I mean, anybody if we can find more of our friends that have car builds that are very clean like that one, that was a fun one to film. I really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, the Civic Type R video was literally just let's make a fucking rough script about how we want this to go, and we'll meet up with it was my coworker.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna spend the evening and we're gonna film this car and make a dedicated cinematic. Like it wasn't like a show cinematic. It was just it was an actual story that we told about him taking his car to a car wash and then driving down downtown College Avenue, which everybody knows.
Everybody can relate to
right?
that. Every
and
car
great
guy.
video. We got views from that video for 2 years after that.
Yeah.
It's currently at 9,000. I think it's definitely tapered off.
plateaued a little bit, not
But still,
showing,
that's pretty.
If people saw that on the recommended screen, they would keep clicking it. But it's just not populating.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so that video we both were in agreement. Even then, now that you say that, I'm like, yeah, I really like that. We went to Ridge Rollout after that. Great show. Loved filming that. It was a good time. I will say this is when we started butting heads a lot.
we were torn in that one, and you can see it because it was the mix between the cinematic and then the mix between let's just fuck around and do
because that was the first kind of video like that.
Yeah, where it was mixed.
Because I think we started talking like, oh, we should get more personality in this, right?
Yeah.
Because again, keep this in mind. The original idea for the YouTube channel was motovlogging, which is strictly personality. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I got really into photography, and I was you were still on we need to have personality in this, and I was in more of I want to just film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're really pushing out the podcast, and we get to Wheels and Whiskey. Sorry, I'm looking at Wheels and Whiskey. We get to Slandon of Gatlinburg 2023. Which was giant for us. We got a podcast with Alex and Rebecca Martinez, which is even watching his video today, which is actually kind of interesting that I watched that today because we're talking about all this right now.
Yeah.
That video that podcast was huge.
Very huge.
Not just, I'm not saying huge in the fact that we have somebody like Alex talking to us, but huge in the fact that this was a milestone for us. I'm not saying an idol, but someone that we look up to in the automotive space gave their time a lot of time,
a lot
of hospitality.
Very, very
to
great
us.
hospitality.
Yeah. And that was like really important to both of us.
Just the team in general, all of them being so welcoming to us. And I do think a huge point where, and you can see it after that, right? You see the quality jump from after that, where it's like, oh fuck, dude, like we're
up until this point, we're kind of fucking around.
Yeah,
like to be honest,
literally.
The first video where I figured color out was Ridge Rollout 1.
Yeah,
color, we finally started to get it right, and then you get to Slam Enough Gatlinburg 2023, and the quality of that video. Everybody knows that video did really, really well.
Oh, that video.
What are we at right now for that? I am curious. That didn't get released for a long time. Let's see. That's at 11,000 views right now.
Wow.
We're actually tied with the first Slam Enough Gatlinburg. But that video did really well, and we were both really, really happy with the outcome of the video.
Very.
However, while we were in Slam Enough Gatlinburg, that's where we both, we don't need to get into it, but that's where we both realized that's the first time we realized that our visions were complete and other opposites, okay?
Yeah.
About not only about the channel, but what we enjoyed doing with filming and involvement. And so we had a long discussion after that. And then that's where you see the gap. We didn't film or post anything besides a podcast. Bro, for
a long time.
Next one was Ridge Rollout last year, so that would have been 6 months. Then we went to Ridge Rollout, and Ridge Rollout was great.
Ridge Rollout was really
actually
good.
we did a great job with that. And then again, there was a cutout. Okay, so from Ridge Rollout to now, okay, we still haven't had a video since Ridge Rollout. Okay, so
which we have some filmed,
right? But so this is what's happened since then. Okay. And I know that was a whole half hour of explaining all this shit, but it's important because you got to understand where we came from to where we're at now. Mm-hmm. From Ridge Rollout, which was in, was that August?
I believe so, yeah.
To now, what have we filmed? We filmed the IMSA race. 3 days we went and camped at IMSA. Phenomenal video. We know it's a great video.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Have I started editing it? No. Okay. Have we looked at the footage? No. We have...
which everybody's got to understand, too, that it is extremely hard to do all this while we're quite literally not making any money off of it.
Right.
And
which actually, I want to get into that. Yeah. So we have that. I got allowed into the season opener this year back in May.
Yeah.
2024.
I missed that, right? I think I was in Key West.
Yeah.
I was on a family vacation for that.
And that was big. I got a media pass for it, filmed a great video, and I actually just started working on it now. Yeah, media pass is behind me. And I want to make a really big point to the WCEC crew.
That sounded good.
I don't want to come off we haven't posted anything about it, so I don't want people to think that we're just not doing anything with it. We weren't going to do anything with it, and we'll get into why. But I changed my mind on that, and we're kind of changing. I'm trying to work on it, but it ultimately came down to we have that, and then we also went to Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg was the eye opener, I think. When we went to Gatlinburg, we had a very strict plan, a very set in stone plan that we were both in great agreement on. We're going to make a documentary about the downfall of Gatlinburg, but essentially how Slam Enough Gatlinburg got turned into a sideshow.
Definitely.
Theo's squeaking his
That's
ball
funny.
So we went down there, and that event, as far as I go, really fucked me over car-wise. My entire interest in the automotive scene.
100%.
And not everybody had that experience.
No.
Literally a week later, they announced next year's already. Right. So it clearly wasn't as bad as 2023.
No, definitely not.
So that being said, we got together then. We went out to dinner and smoked a cigar, and we were like, what do we want to do with this video? Because on one hand, we probably have enough to make the documentary that we wanted to make. Okay?
Definitely.
And the problem with that is that documentary is kind of dunking on all of the people that were there doing non-Slam Enough Gatlinburg event things, okay?
Yeah.
And while we don't personally like that, that is part of the car scene.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a contributing factor to putting other people down. Again, if you're doing bad things, you 100% deserve to be you're doing bad things.
Yeah.
However, I don't think that a lot of the things after a lot of thought, I don't think that a lot of things that actually went on this year were necessarily wrong. They were kind of impactful to surrounding city, but if that's what you are into, we shouldn't like shun it necessarily. Just don't participate. Does that make sense?
I think we're more so going at the culture and just so everybody's aware, the takeover scene in general. I think in the last 2 years, to be quite honest, or actually probably more of like the last year, we've seen that really draw itself into the car scene. Like, and I don't know if that's just us not having our eyes open to it initially, and it's been a thing for a long time, but Gatlinburg was the first time we saw it firsthand, that the takeover scene is becoming the new car community, quite literally, the new massive car community. You know, you got bikes and cars and taking over intersections, drifting, and, you know, big group formed in an intersection that people are just drifting and whatnot. And but that's kind of, I at least feel like it's been like the last year where that's been like taking off huge.
And this is where we kind of get into the why are we making videos thing.
Yeah.
Because why would we make that documentary? You know what I mean?
Right.
And on one hand, it's to voice our opinion of we don't like how this is going, right? But on the other hand, it really does put down a large group of the automotive scene.
It does.
And in the sake of saving face, you could say, we both kind of came to the agreement, like, maybe we shouldn't make this video, you know, because
we don't need to be posting a negative, a very negative one.
That video ultimately would have been a negative video, and we don't want to make a negative video, right? And so after we had that discussion, you know, we haven't really talked about it since, actually, to be honest with you. I've kind of thought about it. I'm still going to go through. I'm going to look what we have, and I'm going to see if we can make a different video. Maybe not necessarily. You know, we could redo the interviews with
100%.
us, and maybe touch on it. But the video, and like, guys, we filmed interviews with people that were down there with us,
police officers.
It was negative.
But we went in there with the motive of putting a spotlight on that as a negative.
Correct. So and that's the problem.
That is the problem.
We hyper focused on all of that.
On definitely making the spotlight. We weren't very open minded.
Right.
To be quite honest.
And we had a bad experience down there too, which ruined it for us and kind of pushed us farther in. And that's you're only going to learn by failing. This is the first time we ever tried to make a video like this anyways. You know, 100%. All these other videos were cinematics and like visual storytelling. This was an actual, like, we filmed it.
Yeah.
It's a real documentary. The shit we filmed is like legit. Like we do end up somehow making this video, you'll see this video is, you know, an actual documentary. But I think we just didn't know what we were getting ourselves into, and we didn't pay attention while we were down there to what we were thinking, and you know what I mean?
Definitely not. Yeah.
So that video specifically is up in the air still. I would like to go through and look at it all and see what we can do with it. But I'm not going to make promises on that. The season opener video is halfway done. That video will be posted. I'm thinking like a month or two before this next year one, just as a recap, because at this point it's almost a fucking year past.
That's kind of where we're at.
That's where we're at. Autumn of Artistry, making videos fucking years later. But
it's gonna get easier here soon, though.
That video, the stuff that I recorded was really good, and the stuff that we recorded at IMSA this year was phenomenal. That video is great.
Especially having Austin there was such a good time.
I'm sure a lot then thought process goes, why haven't you edited this shit? Well, to be honest with you, there was a lot of personal stuff with like focus and drive to even sit down and like, guys, these videos take forever.
Fuck yeah.
And my interest kind of shifted as winter came here. Like, I know I should probably be here editing, but like, I don't want to always be doing that.
Yeah.
And combine that with work and stuff's changing with you. We just didn't. Okay. So I'm not going to I don't want to make any more excuses than I already just did, but we just haven't touched them. So we have 3 videos that the stuff is filed. Probably 2 of them. I think IMSA is a non-negotiable. We have to make that video.
Yeah.
And a season opener I'm going to finish out. Now, that's where we're at right now. Okay. Now is 1 hour later. Let's talk about the future of this, because
I think moving in this new path is going to make it easier to want to sit down and edit these things.
Right.
Even for myself. Like I just think I've never really got, and this is why it's so hard to pump these videos out, is because Sam's the only one fucking editing them, right? I have struggled to find a real interest in editing a long style cinematic video.
Yeah.
I think they're cool. I have no problem sitting down and doing reels. I do want to get more into that, but it's just, I don't know. It's not something that I've really ever been super interested in. I love standing here or sitting here and talking in front of the podcast. This is one thing I love. And what we're about to talk about, obviously where we're moving into, that's the stuff that I love too. And then, I mean, you start to think about where we're going in that style. And then you go back to the first video, which is one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. We're kind of getting back into that realm. But yeah, a lot of and I hate that you have to sit here and explain why these videos aren't going out, because it makes me feel terrible. Because I just can't help. I can't help with these long cinematic videos, because I'm not great at editing, and I don't have the attention span to sit down and fucking do that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think like a big point of why I explained these earlier videos was because I was editing, kind of changed the direction of where this channel went and was more into the cinematic stuff. Okay. And we backed ourselves into a fucking corner with that.
Oh, definitely.
Like really
definitely.
hard.
But I don't want you to think that that's all your fault. It's definitely not. The only thing I can pull from this is positives. There's absolutely nothing negative with us falling into that rabbit hole.
Right.
I agree. Absolutely nothing. Yeah. I'm so glad that we spent the last 3 months filming the way that we did, and making the videos that we did. I'm glad that we didn't figure out and jump right into what I'm glad we failed. I'm glad that we found something that wasn't really working for us, right? Yeah. Like, that's just how it works. That's how you adapt, and that's how you make better videos in the future, and that's how you evolve, is by going routes that aren't quite working for anybody, right? Like, that's just how things get better. So I have nothing but positive to say about it. I'm super grateful for the last, just being able to look at this stuff and say, and those are our experiences, and we filmed that stuff. Is just, I don't know. It's awesome. Yeah. I cannot find a negative in there. I can't, other than we haven't had time to edit these long cinematic videos.
This thing, like the experiences that we've gotten the opportunity to have from all, like, just being doing this is nuts. That was something we said year one. Like, look at the Throttle Stop video.
Oh man,
you know, like, that's just such a random. Like, what are the odds?
Let's throw this one out there too. That's come from this. The most recent one that my mom was actually talking. My mom and Chris were talking, Lauren and I, about last night when we were out for dinner. The Austin Healey.
Oh,
Any time, like, I know we might be kind of going towards the direction of not just like strictly cinematic videos anymore, but if Bill reaches out again, I love doing that. Yeah. That was same thing with the Civic video. This goes right back into this. I love doing that stuff. Yeah. That was so much fun. But it's really just how are we going to evolve, and what are we going to do moving forward that's going to make it easier for us? And then, you know, it all comes down to accountability. Like, I don't think we can just totally cram. We can't. And this is a me thing, right? So obviously you just made your excuses. I'm going to make mine now, right? I'm not even going to make my excuses. This is my accountability, right? Like, if one of the things that was holding us back for the cinematic videos was because you were the only one editing, then I got to figure that out. And I have to figure out how to make it more efficient. And I have to learn how to help edit. Or even if it's not me learning how to edit on my computer, it's me at least being here with you while we're editing those videos. That's huge, right? So that's kind of been our stump in the road. Yeah. Quite literally. That's been our big crack and crevice. That's just like roadblock signs sitting there in the middle of the street. You can't fucking go around it. You can't go over it. Can't do nothing with it. You're just stuck. Yeah. You know. But if you want to get, sorry, that was my one thing.
No, you're good.
If you want to get into the future stuff.
So this whole like thought process actually evolved from the Austin Healey video. So like little. Yeah. God damn, this is going to be a long one. A little backtrack. I've been filming for a guy named Bill who does, really hard to explain this. Basically, he sells other people's old classic cars on Brink Trailer. So I take photos for him and we do video.
Very specific, by the way. Yeah. Very specific. I was talking to Chris about it last night. Very specific.
Dude, it's like, I mean, you even saw it. It's, Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like 100%. The thing,
100%.
I was talking with Chris last week because I went over there. Chris cleaned the engine bay. So I did, right before it went live, I had to take a couple. And Chris was like, it is different to film and shoot for a Bring a Trailer listing.
Definitely.
Than it is the way that we film or shoot for Instagram. We're not making artistic pictures. You want a photo that's straight on, very detailed, so that some customer can sit there and fucking pour over that shit and make sure nothing's wrong.
They can see
and
everything.
That thought process is difficult. And I get the way that Bill has kind of explained stuff. You know, I'm at first, like, I mean, I've already told you at first it was kind of like, okay, guy, I know how to take photos, but like I don't know how to take photos that way.
Exactly. That's the open mindedness. Yeah. 100%.
So that's been a huge learning curve, but me and you went down and we filmed some stuff for this Austin Healey that's live right now. And have you checked it out?
It is up there,
bro. I think it crossed 60K now.
Yeah, Chris just said last night it was about 50.
It was 58.
58.
It was 58. Let's check right now because this it's Bill, not Chris.
I think he said he was going for about.
I thought he was going for 70 to 80.
Yeah.
All right, ready. Oh, it hasn't jumped. It's still at 58. It's got 2 days left on the auction, $58,000. It's
a beautiful car.
1956 Austin Healey 100 BN2. So, hey, if you're in the market for one, right now on Bring a Trailer in the Fox Valley, you can even go and look at it in person if you want to.
Search that up, and it'll be the first one that comes up on Bring a Trailer.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get that
thing.
So,
okay, so where did this new direction come from that we haven't talked about yet? When we drove back from filming that, we kind of like had this conversation of, like, well, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that did stem because Bill came up. He did come up to me and ask. He's just like, so Automotive Artistry, what are you guys going to do your own thing? You guys should try to get into somebody else's thing, or what's the goal here? And I really don't know how to.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to answer that question, so I think I just yapped. But that's.
But you said that to me.
Yeah.
And we like started talking about it.
Oh, we got deep
because
into
he said something about when he asked the way that you said it. He said something about like, oh, are you trying to be the next like Drive Tribe, or he named some other
I don't know
what's the magazine? What's the magazine? Car and Driver.
Yeah.
So
like your own outlet or be a part of somebody else's
That's
outlet.
What he said. Yeah. And we had never thought about that.
No.
You know, like honestly, I don't think the future thoughts that we've had were, one day we'd like to have blah 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 these cars in a garage build and make videos about it. But we never not only did we not make a road plan, we never like actually talked about it or thought about it.
Yeah.
And so when you said that to me, then we started talking about what the fuck are we doing with this YouTube channel? You know, like what are we doing? And we both came to the realization that we backed ourselves into such a niche that is so oversaturated.
Very, very oversaturated.
We are in the automotive cinematic scene where you could have a 12-year-old with a little hand gimbal, right? Or even just his iPhone, posting videos and get tens of thousands of views. And then you got the pros that are getting millions of views on this stuff, right? Yeah. There are so many people in this niche, okay?
So many.
And as we talked about more, we both kind of came to the realization that neither of us want to make cinematic dedicated videos for the rest of our lives. Yeah. If we started making money off of this, it would probably fail because I don't want to fucking edit these videos. No. I don't want to only go out there with a gimbal every goddamn day.
It would tear.
It's a lot.
It's already, you can already see it. Look how we've quite literally have failed.
We're not motivated to finish this stuff out. Yeah. Exactly. So we started talking about that then, and we didn't even form a plan then. I don't think we even made this idea that we're about to share then.
No, I don't think.
I think that was over a cigar and dinner, wasn't it?
I think we threw the idea out. But yeah, cigar and dinner is when we really kind of talked about like, what do we want to do? What do we enjoy doing? Yeah. And that was the big one for me. That was the big question for me is what do you enjoy doing?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't not enjoy hauling a gimbal around and filming, but like you think about those days at the track, you think about the days that Gatlinburg too. Yeah. You think about all of those days, and I'm not saying that we don't want to work hard here, but I'm just saying like the from sun up to sundown on those days, you guys see the video, it looks great. But what you don't see is the sun up to sundown for that entire week while we were in Gatlinburg, out there driving fast as shit to get to certain locations, stressing out to make sure that we're getting this shot, you know. I mean, we had it all written down, all times that we went, except for the first time. I don't think we really fully wrote down a storyline. But the last 2 times we wrote down storylines and we were strict to it. Like we need to. I think the last time we did a better job at giving ourselves free time and making sure that we were.
Well, that's something that's came up at every event we've ever done.
Yeah.
In the past, at least 2024, it's always been us reminding each other, hold on, let's put the cameras down. Just enjoy where we're at. We stopped enjoying going to racetracks because all we're doing is, quote, working the whole time. We're filming something instead of just enjoying it, right? We stopped enjoying Gatlinburg because all we're doing is hanging out at cars, driving through the fucking mountain. Okay, I'm not trying to like, oh, we were driving through the mountains with supercars.
Yeah, right.
But that's
our mindset.
Right. We were there to film. We weren't there to experience everything, right?
Exactly.
And then you get back from these things that you just spent thousands of dollars on and a whole week of your time, and then you sit at home and you're like,
it's fucking demoralizing.
What the fuck just happened?
It's
you know what
so
I mean?
demoralizing.
It sucks. Yeah.
I mean, my most favorite part of that entire trip, and I just keep thinking about this and playing this time through my head, had absolutely nothing to do with the cars, nothing to do with filming, nothing to do with the cabin, nothing to do with the hot tub, none of that. My favorite part of the last Gatlinburg trip was going into the ice cream shop and getting chocolate shakes and Austin drinking it not even 2 minutes down the road. The biggest cup. Yeah. The lady had blood on her nose.
Some fucking Russian strippers came in
just out of nowhere.
Dude, what a
quiet. Didn't even talk.
Yeah, didn't even talk.
Very like, what type of trafficking is going on?
That was really weird.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
Got
of the trip.
hepatitis A, B, C, D, E, F, all of that shit.
Syphilis.
Oh my god, yeah. She had blood coming out of her nose while she was giving us.
The first thing I thought is Austin don't fucking drink that, dude.
And we all ate all of it. Yeah,
dude. Yeah.
No, literally, you're right. You're right. And we haven't gotten to experience this, any of these things we've been doing, and you get back from it, and you really are just like, what are we doing? So here's the plan. Okay,
we still haven't even said it. It's like
because we really talked about this, and this would basically open up the ability for us to enjoy what we're doing. Mm-hmm. We've been talking about the car build for God knows how long, right?
We've been really teasing you guys on that one.
So we want to build this Porsche out. We have a really good vision for it. It's going to be extremely one of a kind, and we will do it. It's going to get done. How do we do this and not lose ourselves in the process and actually get to enjoy it? Well, the simple answer is we don't film it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We can't film it because if we're filming it while we're doing this shit, we're not going to be experiencing it, right?
No.
When you look at all the other people, all these other guys on YouTube, they're not filming it. They have dedicated
somebody doing the filming.
Right.
Yeah.
We're fine editing it. We've talked about these videos are going to be way easier to edit. Because it's more straightforward. Now we don't want to gut the cinematography from it. We want to bring essentially what we have learned and acquired skill-wise into this new direction.
Yep.
So here's the plan. We're going to get we haven't even talked to him. Hey Austin, so we're going to get you to come up here and
you're going to do
film,
all the filming.
because this way me and Connor are both in shots. We're going to have Austin film it so we're enjoying it and being in the moment. We're going to do the car build, the Porsche build, okay? And we're going to really fucking push this thing.
Yeah.
And put all of our time and effort into this and money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money. And we're going to really push this. And the direction that we want to go is kind of a mix between like quote presenter style, kind of like how Top Gear, like you have they're like presenters kind of.
Yeah.
And a little bit of kind of like how like the, mid 2000s vlog style has been, but like obviously we're not recording it, right? So it's going to be more of a not fully scripted thing, but it's going to be like, we want this to look really, really good. And we want to do this in a garage that everybody, kind of like Cameron Alfred, right?
100%.
Something that everybody else can do.
But, and to kind of also stem away from what, not like other people that you guys have seen, but we want you guys to see Connor and Sam,
right?
And like go back to our roots, because this isn't just we're gonna do this in a fucking garage. It doesn't have a lift because everybody else does that, and that's just what we've always done.
Yeah.
And I think that resonates with a lot of people out there. Most of you are probably in the same situation, if not all of you. Well, I shouldn't say all. 95% of people are in the same situation we're in right now, working a job, wanting to build a car.
Yeah.
You don't have access to all those high and mighty lifts and tools and heated garage spaces. So we're going to bring you into that. And that's just what Sam and I have always known. And that's what we've always loved. and we're going to take you guys on a Sam and Connor build. You guys are going to see us. You're going to see our personalities and our fun. And also find out that we don't really know what the fuck we're talking about when it comes to cars. So something might blow up.
Yeah.
Something might start on fire. The car might get painted the wrong color.
Oh God, no.
But something could go wrong. Something could go great. I don't know. This is just, us,
but we're doing us in an extremely, like, I don't want to say professional way, in a very cinema-esque way,
yes.
right? When you look at because here's the thing. Okay, back to what I said, we're in a saturated environment right now. We don't stand out in any way, okay? No. How can we be different? I don't want to make videos that other people are making. We don't want to be another dot media channel, okay? Mm-hmm. We want to be very unique. So how do we make our own stuff, okay? Well, nobody else that I've seen so far that does car builds, okay? All the big names are not doing really high quality videos. Yeah. Like, they're good videos and they get millions of views, but they're not like really high quality videos. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not tying in a lot of super.
They don't have high end B-roll in it. Yeah. They don't have right. So that's
which we know we're good at.
Right. We know. So that's what we want to pull from what we just learned from the past 3-4 years, and kind of go in this new direction. Every time we talk about this, we get really hyped about it. Mm-hmm. Everyone we've talked to gets really hyped about it, and they agree that this is a better direction than the place that we were. Mm-hmm. Here's the other big thing. We want to do something as far as cinematography, video, photo, and automotive. We want to do that as a full-time job.
Definitely.
There's no way in hell that it is sustainable or even probably achievable to do what we were doing as a full-time job. Mm-hmm. It is way easier, monetarily speaking, to bite the bullet on the first investment, knock this whole first build, this Porsche, out of the park, okay? And then we can take this and go to companies and say, we want to do this again with your help, right? Yeah. If that makes sense, we're going with that. So I think this is a more sustainable idea. I think this is a far lower stress idea.
Oh, then,
doesn't involve us going across the country to go film shit and then not experience it.
Right.
Like now, guess what's opened up? We can go to fucking Chattanooga.
Yeah,
and
literally.
Go to, what is it called?
What?
The spring meet.
Oh, fuck.
Riverside.
We
can go to Riverside and not film it. Just take our cameras and take pictures of shit to post on Instagram and just enjoy the experience. We can go to IMSA this upcoming year.
And that's what's kind of sucked, at least with the last Gatlinburg. And then, now with going to Chattanooga, is just kind of this expectation that we're, these guys are coming to film a cinematic video, or a documentary of some sort. Yeah. No, we're going to change it up.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, so in the last couple of minutes, now you finally know what we're talking about. God damn.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. Do you feel like we did a good job there?
I think so. Yeah. I think now it's everybody. Connor and Sam, you guys have fucking said this a lot. You guys have talked about building this Porsche for a long time. Is there even a Porsche? People are probably wondering that. Is there even a Porsche?
All the pictures were stock images off the internet.
Yeah. And the one in the video, it was a rental.
Yeah.
The one in the Ridge Rollout.
Oh yeah.
That's a rental. It's not ours.
Yeah.
It's not Sam's.
Yeah. So it'll be more project car stuff for the foreseeable future with this build. The channel will pretty much be the build and the podcast. That'll be it.
Just getting back to what we actually enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously the bourbon stuff too.
Yeah.
I have seen, and we haven't really talked much about this, but just in the last couple months, the bourbon community is fucking huge.
Yeah.
So big.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this more off camera, but and a lot of close friends, hell, even Josie, she's like, I just watched it for the bourbon stuff at the beginning, and I'm calling Josie out in this one, but the one time she said anything to me about the podcast, she's like, I just watched it for the bourbon stuff in the beginning, and then that's pretty much it. So the bourbon stuff is fun. I think the Wheels and Whiskey podcast will remain the same layout.
That was the other thing that I wanted to go into, because like the issue that we have is we don't have any automotive experience, right? When you look at these other automotive podcasts, they have automotive experience. They have things to talk about.
Oh yeah, they've fixed.
Exactly. So now with the direction of doing this car build, we now have more topics to talk about and more experiences to talk about on the podcast. So we're not just talking about whiskey. We love whiskey. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
But it's called Wheels and Whiskey for a reason.
Yes.
So
100%.
yeah. Any other thoughts?
No. 2025 is going to be different.
Yeah.
This when the weather starts getting nice and that car comes back from the storage unit, it's going to be interesting to see where this goes and what we do. I think our weekends are going to be a blast. Yeah. I'm beyond like anything growth of the metrics, beyond anything. I'm more excited to just spend time in the garage.
Yeah.
Because I know that we get to pull a bottle of bourbon out, maybe a cigar, and just work on a car. That's something I know we love doing. So I'm excited for that more than anything. Are we going back to Gatlinburg this year?
I'm not. Oh.
Yeah, probably not.
What? I don't want to waste my PTO on that, dude.
I definitely do. I was actually talking to Lauren about this. I will talk about this off camera.
Yeah. I was gonna say, we're at 2% on that camera.
So
there.
that thing's gonna die. Deuces. Oh, you.
Oh my god! What the hell? No, really. If you made it this far, again, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate everybody that has stuck around for this time. I know we've been really rocky with posting stuff and really hazy with like actual videos. It's mostly been the podcast, but thank you for sticking along with us. We do appreciate all of you. Yeah. We'll see you next time. Don't know when it'll be, but we'll see you next time.
Sometime soon.
All right.